So that concludes our project, and it concludes our work with PHP and MySQL. We spent some time learning the PHP syntax, all of the types, the control flow operators, functions, and then we worked with MySQL and learned some of the MySQL language, and then we took those two pieces together and worked with PHP and MySQL to create dynamic, database-driven pages and a database-driven website. Now, our content management system might not be something that you would ever actually use, but hopefully those same techniques will carry over to other applications. And also keep in mind the bigger picture of how to design web applications. Remember, we first blueprinted out our application so that we had a path of where we were going. Then we got our databases working and got our database structure to match what we thought it would be for the blueprint. And then we went in and took bite-sized pieces of our code, first working on the navigation, then the subject area CRUD, then the page CRUD, till we had the managed content area done, and then moved over to the public website, got that looking good, and then last of all, we put in the user authentication layer. By breaking it up in pieces like that, it allowed us to work through the code piece by piece, but also be able to reuse bits of code and refactor as we went. I know I've mentioned it several times now, but refactoring is really going to be one of the keys to making yourself a really good programmer and making the programs that you create not only powerful, but also flexible and easy to come back and update and work with later. And that's going to pay big dividends in time later on. Now, of course, you can refactor endlessly, so you'll always have to find that balance between spending more time developing a function and moving on to other features and other functionality. Now, our CMS is not perfect by any means. I know that we left out a lot of things, but we wanted to cover the basic concepts. You can go back and flesh it out, give it more features. For example, you might be wondering whether or not we should move all of those database calls that we made on the pages off into functions. And the answer is, you certainly could. We could have a whole include file that was only database functions, and all of those could be moved over there, whether we're going to reuse them or not. Certainly, if we're going to reuse them, we'll reap some dividends by having them as functions. But I'll leave that all up to you. Just remember that if you get stuck, there's a great PHP community out there. PHP.net is the best portal into that world, but there are a number of other PHP websites that can help you out, and you can ask questions of the community and get answers, get feedback from other people. Hopefully, you feel like you have a good firm grounding in PHP and MySQL and what it can do for you. I want to wish you the best of luck coding in PHP, and I can't wait to see the really great websites that I know you're going to create with it.